it's just a start, and there's a lot of positives as well in the last two games that we've got to see. So it's just good, and hopefully we can string together a good game against CSK tomorrow.
Good evening, sir. Myself, Lakshya from NKTV Plus. My question about Riyan Parag. Last season, Riyan Parag batted number 4, but he success. But this season he promoted to number 3. Do you think that Riyan Parag is number 3 is suitable for him or team?
Yeah, the right word you used, that he's promoted. Yeah, look, Riyan is one of our best batsmen. Let's be honest. Riyan is one of our best batsmen, and we want to give him as many balls as we possibly can. 20 overs is a very short time, and the more balls Riyan Parag bats for us, the better for us, right, as a team. But of course, these things we will keep looking at. We will keep assessing. We'll keep seeing how it goes. And yeah, we know that Riyan's done really well at number 4, so it gives us an option. We could think about maybe at some stage putting him to 4 if it is required. But honestly, the move to move him to 3 was more a positive move. It is to try and give him more time to bat, and we know how destructive a player he is, and if he gets more time, then he can score more runs, and that can benefit the team. So that was the thing. But we can always assess that, and we can always see how it's going. And I think he's quite comfortable. He's more than capable of batting in any position. He's a very good player.
Hi, Coach. Tarun Shastri from the Hindu Chennai.
Yeah.
Not having a big-hitting all-rounder, is it a big problem for you guys?
Not really. To be honest, a lot of it in these situations now with the impact player, you actually do get your options. You do get your bowling and batting options with the 12 players. To be honest, if you look at our last game, we were able to play 7 bowling options. We actually have 7 bowling options in the playing 11, so we're covered in that department. With the batting as well, I think we were able to extend our batting using Hasranga right up to 8, which Hitmaya came at 8 in the last game, and then we had Jofra who could bat at 9. So I think there's enough depth. So I think the role with the impact player sub, I think the role of the all-rounder now is really diminished. Of course, have one is if you have one, it's great, but I don't think it's as much a necessity as it probably used to be in the past, and that is reflected in the way a lot of teams set up their combinations as well. Yeah, I think I'm very excited about the squad. I think we've got a really good team and a very good squad, and I know the first couple of games we haven't played as well as we possibly can, but that can happen. I think in a big tournament, it's a long tournament, you can have a couple of tough games, but even in those 2 games, there are a lot of positives that there are to see. It's going to be a tight tournament. There are a lot of teams who won 1 game, lost 1 game, so it's a tight tournament. It's not going to be. It's going to be a tournament that's going to be sort of probably decided at the back end of the tournament. So it's probably better to start slightly badly and then finish really strong and qualify and go through it till the end. And I'm really happy and excited about the team we've picked and the squad we've picked, and hopefully we'll get to, like I said, put in 2 good performances in both the halves of the game.
टारगेट सेट करना या टारगेट चेज करना, ये दोनों में कोई ये मेथड हो सकता है क्या कल से?
वो हम कल डिसाइड करेंगे विकेट को देख के. ऑब्वियसली लास्ट मैच में ड्यू इतना नहीं था. यहाँ पे थोड़ा जाना जाता है कि थोड़ा ड्यू आएगा, पर ड्यू का आप प्रिडिक्ट नहीं कर सकते. जनरली जो देखा जाता है कि टीम्स कभी कभी चेज करती हैं, पर अभी देखा जा रहा है कि टीम पहले बैटिंग करके भी जीत रही है. जैसे हमने कल देखा, आरसीबी ने भी पहले बैटिंग करके जीता. तो दोनों तरीके से हो सकता है. हम कल देखेंगे पिच देख के, मैच देख के कि क्या करना चाहिए. Again, it will depend on the wicket, and yeah, I think maybe if we are being very critical, maybe we gave a few loose balls to them, but that can happen. We were only unfortunately our bowlers were only defending 150, right? The pressure was on them to take wickets, especially after they got off to actually we got off to a better start than them. They got off to a slightly slower start in the power play than us, but because they were chasing only 150, they could plan it much better than we could. We were batting first on that wicket. So obviously, when you don't take wickets initially, then your spinners are forced to try and take wickets, and they have to try different things because you have to take wickets to win the match. You're not going to win the match if you don't take wickets. So while sometimes trying to take wickets, that can happen, and that's natural because we expect them also to try and take wickets and be aggressive. And sometimes we can bowl a few bad balls, and that can happen. So hopefully we give them a good score. If we are forced to bat first, then hopefully we can give our bowlers a decently big score to defend. And if we have to chase, then hopefully we can restrict them when we bowl first.
Any last question? Sir, will any changes tomorrow's game?
Sorry?
Will any player changes in tomorrow's game?
Sorry, I didn't get your question again.
Changes.
Changes, we'll decide tomorrow. I don't like announcing the playing 11 now, but we do have options, and we do have things to, if we do decide to change. We made only one change in the last game. We brought Hasranga in for Faruqi, but we'll have a look at the wicket and see whether we need to make any change.
One from the back.
Madam, what about Vaibhav Suryavanshi? He is a very young kid, just joined the IPL, obviously first 2 matches. So how do you want to utilize him in the later part of the match, or groom him as Arad has always done?
Yeah, so we'll see. I think he's training very well. He's practicing really well. He was very impressive in our practice in the camp. He looks a really very good and exciting talent, and but there are a lot of other good players as well. And we also, like you rightly said, part of our responsibility is to groom him a little bit. Give him a little bit of time in the environment. Let him get used to it. Let him practice with the players. Let him get to know the players. Let him feel the environment. I think all these are great experiences for him. I think the first time in both in Hyderabad and Guwahati, this kind of crowd, rather than sort of putting him straight in, he gets the opportunity to sit on the bench, to observe, to watch, to run in for drinks, talk to the senior players. All of these things are very important, and so it's part of the process that we follow of grooming a youngster. And if the opportunity arises, to be very honest with you, we won't be scared to play him if it is required.
Last question.
Yeah, a word on Riyan Parag's captaincy. Do you think he has adapted well? It's only 2 matches, but still, your assessment of this captaincy?
Very good. I think he's adapted really well. It's not easy to captain when your team is scoring 280 runs on a flat wicket. And that was like it's like the first game is probably a tough game to be as a captain. But I think the calmness that he showed, and the fact that that didn't seem like our team was panicking or it was helter-skelter anywhere. So I think that was really good. I think even yesterday, in the game against KKR, his brave decision to bring himself on, realizing that the wicket was turning, 2 left-handers batting, to bowl the 5th over in the power play was a brave decision and a correct decision. And so I think he's been very impressive. I think he's been very impressive. He's got to learn. All of us learn. As a captain, it's nice for him to get this opportunity till Sanju is able to field again, and I'm really been impressed with him, the way he's conducted himself on the field, and even in the team meetings, the way he's contributing, the way he's sharing his thoughts and his ideas. He's very clear. He's very sorted in that sense. So yeah, very impressive. Early days, and it's very nice for us as again a team that's looking to develop people and players. Of course, it's unfortunate that Sanju, who's our captain, was not able to captain and play for us. But I think in a way, it's nice that we were able to give Riyan, who was our vice captain, a chance to captain in a few games and give him that exposure and experience as well.
Thank you.
Strict man. Thank you.